What up, everybody? It's the Rottweiler Patriots. I'm Vegas.
And I'm T-Bone.
And we're coming at you with another video today where we're going to be doing our Week 11 Power Rankings. This is where we discuss who we think our top 10 teams in the NFL are headed into Week 11. And I gotta say, this was easily the hardest week. Between all of the top teams on buys and a lot of the other top teams getting upset by other admittedly good teams, it's been a tough time
Couldn't agree more.
navigating
It
this
is.
one, that's for sure.
It was. There was not a lot of deliberation. That's not true. There was, in fact, a lot of deliberation. There was just
There was
so
a
many
lot.
teams. It just not deliberation about what to do with the movement. We were pretty solid on that. It was just what teams are here anymore? Who belongs here?
Not a lot, it feels like. Teams are all over the place. Bad teams have good records, good teams have bad records. The NFL is just pure chaos, and it feels like the margin of error is definitely getting smaller. The
Yeah,
margin
for sure.
between teams definitely feels like it's getting smaller. And so when one
Completely
team
agree.
has one of their best weeks and another team has one of their worst weeks, it's hard to tell who's actually the better team. Like, we literally, after this week's games, we literally opened up, looked at what we had for last week, and were like, what are we supposed to do with this? Who's going to go where? Because, again, half the big teams were on buys, and the other half lost. So, it's tough. But, with that being said, I do suppose we should hop into it, starting off, coming in at number 10, making their way onto this list, we've got ourselves the Houston Texans. The Texans coming off of a big-time upset loss over the Cincinnati Bengals, where C.J. Stroud continued to show why he might honestly be MVP this year. He has been excellent for this team. He has completely revitalized them, and they're a team that's looking to fight for a playoff spot right now. And if they keep playing like they did last week, they absolutely should. T-Bone, your thoughts?
Thanks, Vegas. They are a little bit inconsistent, but when they play their best, they are competing with most teams in the league. And yeah, a lot of bad quarterback play is happening. So bad, in fact, that a rookie might be at the helm of MVP, which has not happened since Jim Brown. May he rest in peace. He is second. CJ Stroud is second in passing yards, and really a whole new era of the Texans is coming fully, and it's working out. It's looking nice for them.
Absolutely. They could not have made a better pick in the draft, and they've done a decent job setting him up for success. Got to give credit to them there. And right now, things are going pretty well for them. They just got to be able to be more consistent in their play, and I think they can be scary good. Alrighty, coming in at number 9, we've got ourselves the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins, coming off of a bye week, gonna be well rested, headed into week 11. A team that there is still a lot of questions about. Are they really as good as their record says they are? They've had an easy schedule. They've beaten up on a lot of bad teams, but when they've hit good teams, it hasn't been pretty. So they've got to come out and answer those questions definitively, or else no one's going to think they're legit. Coming off of a bye, hopefully they've gotten a chance to regroup, figure things out, and say, hey, let's go out and beat a big team. T-Bone, your thoughts?
Thanks, Vegas. Yeah, I mean, really, the question is still remains is how good are they? Is their record a little bit more, a little less telling than it actually should be? That being said, still a great star-studded offense. Achane is coming back off of IR, so yeah, got a lot to look forward to this week, and hopefully, hopefully they can make something happen.
Yeah, getting A-Chain back is definitely going to be big for him. But they still have some questions to answer despite a pretty good showing so far and despite a pretty electric offense. Alrighty, coming in at number 8, we've got ourselves the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks coming off of a tight win over the Washington Commanders, in which their offense did enough to get the job done, putting up 29 points, making it happen. The Seahawks are a team who have shown that they can beat some of the best in the league, beating teams like the Lions. They've also been hit pretty hard by a good team as well. Got murdered by the Ravens, you know. And they're a team where really it's hard to tell how good they actually are. They've shown that they can play very, very well, but they've also had some very poor games. There's definitely some consistency concerns, and Geno definitely doesn't feel like he's playing as well as he did last year. So the Seahawks are another team with a lot of questions that they need to answer right now. T-Bone, your thoughts?
Yeah, they are not playing as well as they were last season, I'd say, but that doesn't mean that they aren't playing good. It just means that they're just just playing a little bit, just playing a little off this season. I fully think that they're still going to be good, but they do have some questions they need to answer.
Absolutely. I mean, not much else to say about them there. Alrighty, coming in at number 7, we've got ourselves the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys coming off of their second murder of the New York Giants this season, in which it honestly feels like a loss that they allowed any points despite scoring over 40. Cowboys are a very good football team, but they're a team who has questions about can they get over the hump of the best in the league. They got trounced by San Francisco earlier this year. They lost to Philadelphia a few weeks ago. They can beat most of the teams below them, except for the Cardinals, apparently. As you saw, they had a very good game against a very bad Giants team, but we have yet to see them really play with the competition that they're going to need to beat if they want a chance at a Super Bowl this year. So a lot of questions for them as well. A lot of teams with a lot of questions, even in the top 10 in the NFL. And that really, I think, goes to show how close everyone is and how really there aren't that many truly great teams this year. T-Bone, your thoughts?
I completely agree. You took the words out of my mouth. I mean, really, a lot of teams have a lot of questions, even the ones in the top tens, and that's kind of just really telling about the skill gap kind of lessening in some of the teams over the NFL. I know the Cowboys are going to be playing the Panthers, so nothing too major. So maybe another week we'll have to look at them for what questions they'll need to answer. But yeah, they need to make a couple of moves and be able to compete with some of those other teams. But they're still the Cowboys, and they still have a great defense.
Yeah. And they still got loads of talent on offense. CeeDee Lamb is having himself a great year.
Yep.
So, regardless of their shortcomings, they still have the talent to be a great team, and that will always take them far. It's just a question of will it take them far enough. And right now, it doesn't look like it. Alrighty, coming in at number 6, we've got ourselves the Detroit Lions. The Lions coming off of a shootout win over the Chargers, 41-38. It's a fun, offense game, which showed that the Lions' offense can put up some points. They played excellent in that one. Obviously, you give up 38, there are questions about your defense, but the Los Angeles Chargers have a lot of talent on their offense. Herbert, Eckler, Williams, they're still good. Like, they're a hard team to stop, especially on a good week. Now, the Chargers have had consistency issues and whatnot, but it's clear that they had a good game there, and I'm sure the Lions' defense will find ways to adjust and bounce back regardless. Their offense put on a show and showed that if they're put in a position where they need to score a lot of points, they can make it happen. T-Bone, your thoughts?
Completely agree. I mean, real great shootout, a real fun game to watch. That does cause some questions for the defense, but then again, Eckler, Herbert, and all that, it what can you expect? I mean, those are great offensive weapons. It is, though it did not paint the defense in a pretty light. It showed that the offense, when push comes to shove, they can do it. They can handle big shootouts.
Absolutely, and right now the Lions are sitting at 7-2, pretty atop the division. The Vikings are making a pretty impressive push, and we'll see then how the Lions handle that kind of adversity with another team knocking on the door trying to take the division from them, because that's not a position they're used to. So the Lions getting tested in a lot of different ways this year. And so far, they've overcome the adversity pretty well most of the time, so we got to give them credit there. Alrighty, coming in at number 5, we've got ourselves the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs also coming off of a bye. They're going to be well rested, but there are some big questions about the offense, which with Patrick Mahomes leads that offense, you're wondering, hey, what gives? You'd expect the offense to be not be the problem. No, the offense feels like it is the problem. The Chiefs have one of the best defenses in the league this year, and it's honestly carried them. Mahomes is having maybe his worst year as a pro. He's making decisions that are more Josh Allen-esque. He's turning the ball over more. And I don't know if this is just his luck finally ran out, because he's definitely done some ridiculous things that I think if 99.99999% of guys who ever played the game tried to do, they'd get chewed out by their coaches. Or what, but it's not going as swimmingly as they would like, and there's definitely a question of, when it comes time to make it happen, is he going to be able to, or is he going to turn the ball over? Is he going to try to force a throw that shouldn't be forced, So definitely some questions there around a Chiefs team. And you'd think, the Chiefs, they have one of the best defenses in the league. Surely that would mean that they'd be steamrolling everybody, and that's just not the case. So some big questions for them right now. T-Bone, your thoughts?
Though they are 7-2, they are a shaky 7-2 for definite sure. And it is not all sunshine and rainbows. In Missouri, I'll tell you that much. It's just Patrick Mahomes might be having his worst year as a starter, and they're still 7-2, which is scary, but also they have been on some shaky games and have lost to some questionable opponents. So definitely in the coming future, they're going to have to answer a couple of questions about what is happening with this team and really the future of it.
Absolutely. Now, if there is a team in the league who I trust the most to correct their issues, it's the Chiefs, because they're just so well coached by Andy Reid. But right now, there's definitely some questions being asked about them, in particular their offense, which, like I said, not the questions you'd expect out of a Chiefs team helmed by Patrick Mahomes. Alrighty, coming in at number 4, we've got ourselves the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens coming off of a tough upset loss against the Cleveland Browns, in which they had a spectacular first half, and I don't think Ravens fans would particularly like me if I mentioned the second half. It was an ugly look for them for those final 30 minutes, and the Browns were able to come back with an injured Deshaun Watson at the helm. Now, to credit the Browns, they did play well in their defense, did what they needed to do, but the Ravens still fall, and that's going to start to pose some questions about their team. T-Bone, your thoughts?
Yeah, this is definitely going to cause some questions. A lot of these teams are going to be needing to answer some questions. That being said, they are still doing great things. It's just unfortunate that they blow some of these giant leads. Lamar's still playing good. Sometimes he plays a little iffy, but he's been playing pretty solid. So it's just a matter of it just wasn't in the cards for them, and just the Browns' defense is immaculate. It is one of the greatest defenses assembled in this this season for sure. And yeah, but still, Ravens. It does not stop the fact that the Ravens are the Ravens and are playing pretty well, all things considered, when they have their head tied on straight.
Yeah. And I mean, good teams lose games. If that were the case, we'd have had a 19-0 team by now. But even the team that looked like they were going to go 19-0 had to fall at some point. Sadness. Cries in Patriot fan. Good teams lose games. Sometimes to good teams, sometimes to bad teams. The Browns, I would say, are on the good side of things, just given how good their defense is and some of the talent that they have on offense, even with their injuries. So this isn't a bad loss for the Ravens. Divisional games are always tough, but it definitely poses a few questions about them and their ability when it comes down to crunch time. Alrighty, coming in at number 3, we've got ourselves the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals also coming off of a tough loss against the Houston Texans, which their offense looked pretty good, put up 34 points. That is no small feat, and most weekends will get you the win, but the defense couldn't get it done against a high-flying CJ Stroud, and I wouldn't say this is a bad loss for the Bengals. Obviously, in terms of record, with the way they started their season, it's concerning. They want to try to win the division, and with the Ravens losing this week, them losing is a missed opportunity. But they will get another one on Thursday against Baltimore. And we've done these power rankings the last few weeks. We've had the Bengals above the Ravens, and we do it again this week. And we haven't really been sure, which of the two teams is better. And just based on the eye test the last few weeks, we decided it was the Bengals. But we're going to really get a good look at who are these two teams actually and how good are they compared to each other this Thursday. And it's a game that we're really looking forward to. A lot of people are looking forward to it. And I know Amazon is, because they finally get a good game on a Thursday, because Lord only knows how amazing and wonderful the games that they have been getting are. And anyways, the Bengals still are a good team with a good offense. Some concerns on the defensive side of the ball, especially with losing Jesse Bates to the Falcons. But we still know that they are a team who can beat basically anyone in the league on their best day. T-Bone, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, and this game is really going to be telling, because it will tell us which team is actually going to be better, which team deserves to be 3-4, or 9-8, depending on how bad or good they play. I do think just the Bengals are a more complete, put together team, a little less injured. They do have a little bit of a worse record, but it's the Bengals, and they start off like a lawnmower. So yeah, I have the Bengals. I think they're a little bit more complete. I think the Bengals are a little bit better. That being said, it is going to be a close game for sure.
Absolutely looking forward to that one for sure. So we'll see what happens, and it'll definitely be very revealing about both teams, I think. Alrighty, coming in at number 2, we've got ourselves the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners course correct hard, back on track, and they get it done against the Jacksonville Jaguars, absolutely slaughtering them on both sides of the ball. The only negative for the entire game was that the Christian McCaffrey touchdown streak is broken. McCaffrey did not score a touchdown in this one, and so the streak will end there. Regardless, it is a much needed bounce-back win game for the 49ers over a team that headed in was on 5 straight wins. So this is going to be a big confidence boost for them, and now that they've got guys back from injury, I think we got to see how complete of a team they really are. And obviously, it does beg the question, if guys get hurt again down the road, can you win without them? Because you obviously struggled to do so with 3 straight losses. But a fully healthy 49ers team is scary to watch. That's for sure. T-Bone, your thoughts?
Yeah, they do course correct really hard, and I mean, getting Chase Young, I think that was really complementing the defense, which was having not struggles, but Nick Bosa had said it for had commented on the difference of it this year. So maybe he's feeling a lot better now, and the 49ers really did 49er fashion, and it does suck to see because I'm a Panthers fan. It does suck to see CMC lose that touchdown streak, and as a fantasy owner of him, and now all of my 3 leagues, because I had to bring him home, just traded for him for a bag of chips. Uh, but I still think that they've course corrected and are going to be on track from here on out. Maybe not sunny skies, but clearer.
Yeah. I mean, they're a team that definitely, like, with those 3-game losing streaks, still has questions. But they bounced back hard, and being one of the few teams at the top to win this week, they get the benefit of the doubt and boosted up to number 2. Alrighty, and coming in at number 1, it honestly feels like this is where they'll be for the rest of the year. They're the only team who I feel like is played consistently well every single week of the year, and it's the only team who I really and truly trust when it comes down to it. We've got ourselves the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles. Also coming off of a bye, 3 teams on this list were on the bye. There were only 4 teams on the bye this week, the other team being the Rams. So, a lot of teams on this list going to be well rested heading in their games, and the Eagles are a team who just play well against everyone they play. Only one loss, a tough loss to the Jets with the Jets defense, which is very good. Put in one of their best performances of the year, and all credit to them. That's the only blemish on the Eagles' record. They have been excellent this year across the board. The most complete team in football, and you can trust that they have a very good chance of winning every single game that they play. And if those games are close, you trust they're going to be the ones who are probably coming out on top. They've done well in crunch time. T-Bone, your thoughts?
They really have performed well in crunch time. They maybe on paper look a little bit worse than their counterparts from last year, but that being said, they are still the best team in the league, and they are performing quite well. In some of the adversity they've faced, they are able to come back, and they have been able to work well under pressure, and it is showing why they are the best team in the NFL.
Absolutely. Excited to see what they're going to be able to do going forward. Jalen Hurts has been playing very well. The defense has been playing very well. The team has been playing very well. So excited to see what they're going to be able to do this year, especially when it comes to the playoffs. Alrighty, that is going to round it out for this week. Coming in at number 10, we've got the Texans. Number 9, the Dolphins. Number 8, the Seahawks. Number 7, the Cowboys. Number 6, the Lions. Number 5, the Chiefs. Number 4, the Ravens. Number 3, the Bengals. Number 2, the 49ers. And number 1, the Philadelphia Eagles. Please be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Feel free to drop your own top 10 or whatever else you feel like. We'd love to hear what you all have to say. And that is going to do it for us today. Thank you all so very much for watching. Please be sure to hit the like button. Please be sure to subscribe. And we will see you all in the next video.